RC Underground Radio is your go-to podcast for everything RC.
Do you guys realize how much it costs to be friends with this dude?
Whether you're a dedicated racer or just getting started in the hobby, this is your show. Each episode features top-notch guests, industry leaders, and you, the racer.
Yeah.
It's a community where listeners can learn, connect, and grow their passion for RC racing. So, grab your transmitter, buckle up, and join us on RC Underground Radio.
Say words.
Here are your hosts, Dave Brinkman and TJ Greer.
All right, it's that time again. I can't believe how fast these weeks are going. Maybe it's because Christmas is around the corner, but it's time for another week of RC Underground Radio. I got my man, TJ Greer. TJ, thanks again, as always.
Always a pleasure. Ready to bring the hot heat.
Yeah, we're not going to even pre-talk because we got this guy coming on the show, and this is going to be great for multiple reasons. Mm-hmm. It's the first time, we're bringing on another RC racer. This guy talks about RC, loves RC, to the point that he has his own podcast. It is the one and only from the RC Lounge, Korey Jordan. Korey, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, man. Awesome, man. I just appreciate this awesome opportunity. Again, just to my RC family and to y'all, followers that, hey, we all in this together as far as like, being all like-minded people into a hobby that we all can enjoy with our families, and even the families that may be disabled, can all enjoy this. And so we all family, man. So anything we can do in the hobby, if it's podcasting or racing or just bashing or whatever, fifth scaling, flying, if we can draw some people in, that's what we all about. You know what I'm saying? So, So yeah, most definitely, yeah, man. So yeah, let's have a good time tonight. Got my board over here. So hey, we just let it go. It's Sunday, so we ain't gotta do but get up and go to work in the morning. For those of us that do gotta work.
Not on Mondays. I'm off. No work for me on Mondays.
Can't beat that. So yeah.
So this is cool because this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Collaborate with other RC podcasters. I mean, we've got our space within Spotify and YouTube and all that, and it's just fun. I came across your show, and without a doubt, dude, you're winning the merch battle. I don't care who's got merch out there. That logo has got it going on. I reached out to you right away, and I said, get that thing in a 2XL because take my wallet. Just take it.
I got you. That's
awesome. I got you. Isn't that something, Teach?
It's legit, man. It's everything. It's all encompassing. It's everything.
Yeah. Like I said, I just when you be doing podcasts and you see other podcasts and hear other podcasts, and what everybody usually just have on, either some headphones, hat, and we got our microphone. So that's all this is headphones, a nice RC hat, and that's the microphone. So that's the stand, that's the microphone right there. So,
you killed it.
So I just put it together. But yeah, right. Man, it's just been great, man. Just jumping into RC and just from racing, being a racer myself.
How long have you been racing? So yeah, take us back. We want to know everything about Korey Jordan. So when did you get into the hobby, and then take us through, and then take us how the podcast started?
Okay, we could do that. Just me as Korey Jordan. Really, I started off playing football. I played, all the way up Little League and Pee Wee up to what else they have after Pee Wee, all the way up until middle school, junior high, then on high school. Went to I'm born in Birmingham, Alabama, so I've been an Alabama boy pretty much all my life. Lived a few years in Georgia, Macon, Georgia. And I was real young, but pretty much grew up in Gaston, Alabama. Is like about an hour away east from Birmingham, Alabama. Okay. So just grew up, man, playing ball and played all the way up until my college years at Alabama State University. That's what brought me to where I stay at now here in Montgomery, Alabama. So
what'd you play? What positions?
I played in high school. I played linebacker and running back. Played both ways, and I played at 5A it's like the class.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
pretty big school. You know what I'm saying?
Big school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played, both ways, class A. 5A, in Southside High School in Gaston, Alabama. And was blessed to get a scholarship to play down at Alabama State. And
Nice.
played a couple of years at State. My Alabama State, my college years playing, it was good, but it was more of me just becoming a man, learning how to prioritize time, learning how to study. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't play as much as I would like to have. And all the years that I was there 4 years, and we had new coaches and stuff coming in. So I had to battle through that. Then I had to battle myself, just learning how to study and keeping all my grades up and stuff like that. And it was just I was learning this, had to mature as a man, had to mature, handle my business. So it taught me a lot. That really taught me to focus on like the little things that we don't take for granted that really matters in life. And, from there, I just played out my years there and just came to a part of my life, man, where I was kind of like, nah, okay, cool. Now what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because I still had that, that mindset of competing. And so I end up staying with my grandmother after I got out of school. I worked and ended up staying with my grandmother one summer, and end up meeting a guy here in Alabama named Alan Burton, and I got a job at the hobby shop. So, and okay. Before that, I always had remote control cars, the ones that was sold at Radio Shack.
Sure.
My first legit car was that Lobo 2 made by Tyco. And then and then from the Lobo, I had the first one that I really could get parts was the one that Radio Shack sold called the Golden Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was my really my first really RC car. And then from there, man, I always wanted one. Then I started working at that hobby shop and I really saw what was available. And then, like I said, the guy, young man named Alan Burton, took me to my first race. I think it was in North Carolina, and was at a guy's that used to race NASCAR. I think his name was Lance Norton. He used to race NASCAR back in the day. Yeah. And so Lance had a track back in his backyard, and it was like the Nationals, man. It was a big race. I didn't know. I was just there you know what I'm saying? Just young, didn't know nothing about RC. Yeah, man. And I was just
he wasn't ready.
Yeah. To what I was getting myself into, and just saw how competitive it was, and really saw how fast these cars were, and then how the guys was able to control them and just driving with precision. You know what I'm saying? I think that was my first time that I know now, looking back on it, that Adam Drake was there at that race, Lance Norton and them at that track. I think it was like a Nationals. So Drake was there. Kind of find out Tebow was there, and maybe Truey and some other guys that raced off-road back then. And come to find out, just doing the podcast, talking with Keenan White at the No Name RC podcast, talking to Keenan, found out he was actually at that race I was at, my first race. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, man, I had to get into it. Just because of being able to go back to the car aspect, being able to wrench on them and changing parts out, that really taught me how to work on full-size cars. You know what I'm saying? Just a small, scaled down version of a full-scale car. So just from that, man, and then, like I said, just coming up, I got into it late because my folks, they weren't gonna buy me no remote control car that cost $300 or $400. You know what I'm saying? So I had to fit that bill and buy my own. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a while, and ended up getting a HPI MT racer. It was an HPI RS4 MT racer. The racer was a kit version. It was a Nitro, and I really didn't know. I just liked how it looked at the magazine, and coming out to find out that I needed a Nitro motor and all that stuff, and I still had to put the kit together. And it was my first kit, so while I was working in Birmingham at the hobby shop at Hobby Town, I end up meeting a little young lady, you know what I'm saying, went to Auburn, you know what I'm saying, and she stayed in Auburn. But I was still driving back and forth. So she stayed in Auburn. So that's why I end up finding, getting the car up in Auburn. So a guy, man, went to another hobby shop in Auburn, Alabama. A guy, I think Kenny used to work there. And I think he passed away now. But anyway, bro, I took the car there. I thought I was done. Kenny said, Korey, bro, you got a long, you got a long way to go. You got a long way to go, man. So I had to go back, get the car. And he was talking about, I built it, but I thought I was done. But after he looked over the car, he gave it back to me like, here, hey, man, you need to take this back home and redo this, do this, and bring it back. And I was like, what? I got to redo it, break the car back down again and bring it back to you. He's like, yeah. So just from that experience, man, it just really taught me how to tone it and really how to work on how to wrench on the cars now. And but from there, got the car built up right. Kenny said, okay, Korey, you ready? Cool. So he really taught me how to tune and get everything, together from that aspect. But yeah, that RS4 MT Racer was really my first car, hobby grade car. And just from there, I grew from just racing local events in Birmingham, from Birmingham to Gaston and Huntsville, Muscle Shoals area here in Alabama, just around the surrounding areas, going to club racing and stuff. So I've been in it for now, man. It's been probably about 12, 13 years now. And just like everybody else, going from, like I said, getting tires out the garbage can, guys giving me stuff, running wore out engines that we have to get it pinched about 3,000 times before we can buy another one. Just going through that process, being just being persistent, not giving up. Even when it get frustrating. I did electric too, so just having to buy batteries. If I can't get them, then have to borrow some from somebody else or somebody to give me some batteries, and just have to sometimes bite your pride, man, and just ask, hey, y'all got this? Can I borrow this? Or y'all got some extra batteries? Or y'all got batteries you're not running? So just been through all that, man, and was blessed to now be in a position where I run pretty good. I still run sportsman, looking to jump up to intermediate this year, and getting better and better. Just learning how to practice, still learning how to keep the cars together for like them 30-minute mains and them 40-minute mains, which all that's coming around. And
so what
just
cars
from
do
there,
you run?
man, until now, and just from that, I would just wanted to
let's hold 1 second, Korey. I think Tej, did you have a question?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, TJ.
What cars do you run now? So you said that you every once in a while you would run electric, but it sounds like you're just running specifically nitro.
Yeah, right now I just run nitro, buggy and truck. Like I say, this is my
Yeah, let's get that bad boy on air.
Yeah, this is my Miyako buggy that I just ran at AMS. If you go on the Miyako site, they took a picture of, I was running my main, and my pit man, Tony Scarcella, was putting my car down, and the cameraman caught a good picture of it and everything. So it's up on Miyako site. Yeah. So yeah, and
oh, nice.
Yeah, and I got the truggy. Hold on one sec. The truck's right here. So.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So yeah. So. Just
we've had a couple of guests on that do the buggies and the truggies, and I should be taking a vote, like ask each one, like what do you like racing more? Most people are saying the truggy. So where do you fall?
I'm not gonna lie to you. The truck is super fun. Just because the truck is way more easier to drive because it's just a bigger vehicle, and you can be all out with the truck. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
And the buggy is just a little bit more precise. Like you really have to really be toned into your throttle inputs and your steering. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really saw on the wheel real hard. You have to, ease. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like how do y'all do? I thought I read that y'all did like dirt oval. you know how you got to be precise, on your wheel.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like that with the buggy. You got to be, precise how much you turn when you be in the turn.
Just the bigger cars just seem to be a little bit more forgiving. We had a guest on not too long ago. Aiden said the same thing. He said that he liked driving the truggy a lot. He felt like it was more forgiving, but it wasn't as finicky as what a buggy could be.
Right.
Or it just seems to take the track better, so to speak.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Like it just handles better and bigger vehicle, bigger tires. So they give you more room to, if you make the mistakes with your throttle and your steering inputs, you really can't tell it because it's just a bigger, it can take all that, you know what I'm saying? And then it don't affect it as much because it's just a bigger and heavier vehicle. So it's way more easy to drive. But it's just with the truck. And if you're not really running like they run e-truck a lot here too. And cause anything, it's just easier, plug and go. And you go play and you go run. With the nitros, you have to make sure everything's right. You got to make sure your tune is right before you get out there, and it's a little bit more, meticulous with the nitros. But just overall driving ability, the truck's easier, but the buggy is very competitive, and once you get the feel and it can drive, you can drive it like a truck once you get it down pat. So, but your truck is a little bit easier. So I love both of them, but the truck is easier, and I would probably choose that one over the buggy if they had a world's class in truck in truggy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I like them the same. Like I say now, I kind of know how to drive the buggy a little bit better than I did in the past. So it's right up there with it now. So I say it's a tie. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a couple questions coming out of that. Okay. First of all, you mentioned Adam Drake, Rhonda and Adam, just awesome people. We've had them on the show. They're so dedicated to that. They have their own track. They travel to all the major races. They help everyone. I'm sure you've probably watched Adam's videos.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of his stuff?
Yeah. I did.
I did a
podcast with Adam too.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. It's just so good and goes in such detail. He's really working hard to try to keep that whole Nitro world and scene, healthy and growing by saying, hey, here's everything. Here's everything you need to do before you get to the track, after the track. He's a good dude.
Right.
So here's the second thing I need to know about. And I've heard a little bit about this air control thing where you jump and you're in the air and you're actually manipulating the car in air for where you're going to land and if you're going to make a left turn or a right turn. What is that all about?
Man, it's like an AMS. They had a jump. It was like the jump was in a corner. Like the jump was actually turning to the left. And so the face of the jump was what you call it, kind of off camber, at an angle. And the landing was at an angle. So basically, you had to just say this controller is the car. So basically once you hit it, you had to hit it where the two shortest angles was at the jump, you know what I'm saying? So it was more like inside was the shortest point to the downside of the double. On the other side of the double, the inside was the shortest point of the jump. So you just had to if you jumping and you could turn your wheel while you're in the air. If you turn your wheels like even though the turn is to the left, but if you turn your wheels to the right, the left side of your car would dip down. So that's going to give you that angle in the air. So when you land, you won't have to just land straight and then turn. So once you jump and turn your wheels to the right, it's going to drop that left side of the car down in the air. So when you land, it's already going to be at the angle that you want going into the next corner. So that's a part of that. Then, like I said, when you jump, say you jump and your nose is up like this, and if you tap the brakes, you'll bring your nose down. That's part of it too. But if you jump with your wing up high like this, if you give your car gas, you'll bring the back of the car, the rear of the car back down even. So it's just all about timing, and that's what all that practice come in. And so you can tell, and you'll recognize it once you see the car in the air. And once you do it and you just locked in driving, it just muscle memory. You know how they say people say like muscle memory all the time. It's muscle memory, just like dirt oval. Once you make that left and you get the car turning to the left, at the right angle, it just come naturally. You just turn it that way every time. All this repetition. So all those little movements like that, it's just repetition over time. Your body just over muscle memory. It know how to do it, automatically. So it's just a part of practice, man. But yeah, all that's true. Yeah. They do all that. Yeah. So
you're basically racing a race car and flying an airplane all at the same time. Basically. I mean, come on. That's crazy to me. Yeah, TJ, man. Could you do that at an oval? You're a dirt guy. Could you be flying in the air and doing all that?
If we're flying in the air, we're not winning. It's flat out. We always say, I got 2 wheels up, you ain't winning. Mm-hmm. See, spinning ain't winning.
When Korey does that, and he's in the air and he's flying, he sees the corner. Well, if you're up in the air doing that, you see dollar signs.
Yeah.
That yard sale is not going to be good.
No. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, no, it's different. It's the same thing for us. We have our entries and our exits and things we can do to the car. You get on 2 wheels. How do you get off it on 2 wheels? Because obviously driving on 2 wheels ain't winning. But no, it's the same thing. I mean, a lot of people don't understand, the throttle control you guys have to have in the off-road world when your cars are in the air. They think you just send it for a ride and that's it. Your average basher's not. I mean, they'll learn. When they put that 4S battery in there and they hit that ramp and they're throttling, they finally slam that thing down when they hit the brakes. But it's a whole nother world. I tried off-road. I can't do it. I suck. I suck.
Well, yeah, it's the same way. Even with just going from gas, nitro to electric, it's the same principle. Just because it's a nitro car or a gas car, it works the same way. So yeah, it just come with repetition. Cause you can see other people do it too. And sometimes, like when you're racing and like when you do a dirt oval, you can go and just sit at the track and just watch your competitors, how they take a corner, how they do this. And you can see, okay, I see, some of my competitors, when they go for the jumps, they whipping the car to the left. Let me try it. You know what I'm saying? And then if you don't know really how to do it at the point that you're seeing it done, then that's the practice days. You go practice and you ain't got to do it over a big jump and tear your car up. Because if you try over a big, huge jump, yeah, you're going to tear some stuff up. But get a medium-sized jump and just take your time and just do it. Repetition. You're going to flip, but it ain't going to tear the car up as you think it would. But these cars take a lot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
have you run any other versions of RC? Like any oval, man, or any other tri-diver cars?
Yeah, hold on. Let me show you something, man. Hold on. This is my newest adventure.
This is getting RC. Better by the minute, man. This is getting better by the minute. This is great that we edit, because I can edit this part out.
Absolutely.
He's a great dude, isn't he?
I love the energy.
Yeah, right? Great guy.
So yeah, this to answer y'all question too. When you said, "Have I tried anything other than nitro?" Yeah, man. Yeah. See, this is my new.
There we go.
Yeah, a little mini
crawling.
Yeah, my new mini crawler. Yeah, Evo Pro, Hobby Plus Evo Pro. So I'm trying to understand how to peak lines, slow. Do the rocks and stuff. I ain't really took it outside yet. I just been doing stuff in the house over cardboard boxes and stuff, making my own little course and stuff. So yeah, man.
Over the dog.
Dog climbing up on the girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Everything, all that,
So you're talking muscle memory, Korey. When you're out there with the crawler, you don't all of a sudden just gas it and try to put it in the air and try to do some air control. No, you don't.
If it gets stuck, yeah, I send it them. If I can't get it out of if it gets stuck, I can't get it out of a certain position, then yeah, I give it the throttle. So, but yeah, man, this has been just once you race all the time, you may need a little something just to, different, just to slow you down. So when it's time to get back racing again, you come back fresh. You know what I'm saying? Your mind back on at full speed and not feeling more, you're like burnt out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's what that's for. And but I would also like to get into the boat side and also do some plane stuff and maybe start up, do some drones or something like that. I think that's pretty good. And I do want to do some on-road racing. I would like to try that. Everybody been saying that on-road A scale GT racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's if you
big
want
out
speed.
west.
Now that's very intense. Yeah, so I want to try that before it's said and done. So yeah.
Well, we'll have to get you in the Midwest sometime so we can get you doing some oval racing.
Where are y'all located at? Where y'all
I'm
from?
in Wisconsin, and TJ.
Okay.
I'm in Indiana.
Okay. We got some family in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Hey, that is
not too far away.
an hour north of me, just straight up I-69.
Yeah. So we been in. I just came back from Chicago 2 weeks ago. So I'll be around. I get out and go visit and stuff. So most definitely we need to do something, get together and do something or something.
I went through Birmingham the last 2 summers in a row. Well, last 3 summers.
Mm-hmm.
I drive through Birmingham. We go down south for nationals. My daughter plays travel softball, so we drive through
down this way. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we go down to Gulf Shores. We stay down there and go play at Orange Beach back and forth. So
right, yeah, because you have to come through Montgomery down 65. That's right through Montgomery down Mobile
once you
way.
hit Birmingham, once you hit
mm-hmm.
Birmingham and Montgomery, that traffic's horrible. They don't know how to drive.
It is.
They're not RC car drivers.
No, not at all. They bumper car drivers, so you got to watch out. Yeah.
So what's next for racing for you, man? You got any big races coming up? Anything that's going to showcase your talents?
Yeah, TJ. We got the SIC Southern Indoor Classic race, and that's actually going to be here in Alabama, in a little small town called Otagoville, Alabama. It's like really kind of like 30 minutes away from where I stay, like my home from Montgomery. So it's in Prattville, and that's gonna be a big race. That's gonna be like really the first big race of the Nitro season. Well, the A scale off road racing season. That's when everybody showcase like the new cars. Y'all know in RC off road racing we have silly season, which y'all know about silly season, where everybody changing brands and getting into their new.
It's the same for us, and same. It's all in October. Same thing.
Yeah, just getting your new sponsors for the following coming up year, and so SIC is where everybody comes. Drake, Mayfield, Finn, all those guys come and race and show, and just first big race of the year. So they're gonna, pull the new stuff out and just race and have a good time. So yeah, that's here in Alabama. They hold it at Agriculture Center in Otagoville. The Agriculture Center is covered. It's an indoor arena. It's like a horse arena.
Oh, and,
yeah. And they build a track inside the arena, off-road jumps, everything inside the arena, and that's where everybody meet up and we go race, and they call it the indoor Southern Indoor Classic. Yeah,
that's what they do for Chili Bowl. Same thing. They we're down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in less than a month now. I'll be out there racing, but they same thing. They have this big horse arena. They build a track there, and we race there all week.
All week. That's it. It's gonna be 3 days, all weekend. I think it's practice gonna start on Friday and mains on Sunday, and we just go at it, bro. That's be the first big race of the week, and you get to see everybody, all the big name races in their new rides for the year, and it's just where everybody go and let it all hang out. So it's gonna be an awesome event. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah, and TJ's getting ready for Chili Bowl. How many drivers will be at Chili Bowl, TJ, you think?
I mean, entry-wise, probably close to 600 in a week. Maybe 6 to 8. I don't know. I don't know what it is now. I heard that they're going to let 850 in, which that's a lot.
And that's pretty much that's how SIC is, about 850 to 900, because it's put on by a race promoter called Dave Lycom. He has his race time entertainment races, and this is one of the race time entertainment races. So it always be a big entry. So.
That's beautiful. It's just so great to see that in the hobby. Here it is, all different areas of the country, all different styles of racing. We're talking about it, but the common denominator is it seems like each area is pretty healthy. right? Like 800 at Chili Bowl, 800 at a Nitro race. I mean, that is just fantastic to hear. That makes you feel good about where this hobby is heading.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it's like, that's why I wish that we could, some of these manufacturers partner up together and put some of these big races at event, like theme parks, maybe something at Six Flags, or even if you ain't got to go that far, at some of these, more often at like fairs or something like that, where people is coming in and can see, what's out there other than just, baseball, football, zip lining, kayaking,
What about Motorama? What do you know about that?
Yeah, Motorama is up north. It's all electric. I haven't been yet, but I hear about it every year. I think that's coming up too this year.
February 14th or 15th weekend or whatever. I'm gonna go to it this year.
Yeah,
is that in Chicago?
No, it's Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah. And I think that's at like a full size, like at a car show.
Yeah, it's a huge event. I mean, they've got motocross going. Another arena's got the off road. They've got go karts going. Dirt oval.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's everything. So
everything.
I mean, it's a car show. It's why they call it that. But I mean, they get it done in 3 days.
Yeah, man. So
That's
we just need more stuff like that, man, so people can see, what we do, just to get it out more, and it just would help everybody. It probably would, lower the cost if a lot of people more was drawn into the hobby and get into the hobby. It probably would lower the cost of just, racing and just our products more if more people got into it. If it's just more exposure on it, more people can see what we do and just let it grow. Let it, grow, like I said.
Yeah, for sure. I talking to Steve Slaney, and I know he's done it since he was on the show, but he was putting together kind of that at a big at a big drag racing event.
Yeah,
they gave him an area. They brought out their portable tree and everything, and I mean, some of the video and some of the pictures I saw, they had hundreds of people down each side of the strip. And that's a lot of eyes. That's a lot of views to. From a social media standpoint, but also from being able maybe to attract more sponsors into the different, into Nitro and into Chili Bowl style, oval and things like that. So, it's just being creative and people giving you a break and giving you an opportunity, because it can be some great indoor entertainment that you don't have to charge for, It's not like, it's $50 to come in there and watch that. Like if you'd go and, go to St. Louis and watch in the Dome,
Right.
There was more of this locally at different places where people can come and get exposed to the hobby. It's only going to grow.
I got you. But yeah, Dave, just back to your question, man, about how I got into and came up on the podcast. It was just, I just wanted to, it was just first the YouTube channel started. Cause I had a lot of car action magazines and all that kind of stuff at my mom's house and stuff. And I was like, man, I've been doing this for a little while and reading up on all this stuff. And so it was just one of the things I'm just going to do it and just let it grow, 1 subscriber, you know what I'm saying? And just let it over time, just whatever little knowledge I have, just sharing it. Just sharing everything, the good, the bad, some stuff that I break, you know what I'm saying? Some stuff that engines may blow up and stuff. Just be open with it and just share it with people so they won't make that mistake or they can learn something from it. And just doing the YouTube part first, just doing the videos. And that was going pretty good, but I just wanted to have a more reach more people. So I was like, how can I, reach more people and kind of get my name out there more and maybe they can help me in my race program. So I was like, I heard Keenan doing his No Name RC podcast. And then also the ones that really, really also influenced me was the Radio Impound podcast with Jason Rona and Gotti Jr. and what's the other guy that was on there with them? He come here every once in a while. I can't think of his name too, but it's actually 3 of them: Gotti, Jason Rona, and I forgot the other guy's name. But anyway, they really influenced me into doing the podcast. So I just at that time I was running for JQ Racing when JQ Racing was probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I had a race manager named Tony Scarcella. Me and him was real cool. When we was at racing, we all got along real well, and some of the guys, him and me and some more guys, came up with our race team called TTR Racing. Just a bunch of guys that's real tight. We always travel together and race. So I just kind of wanted to just talk with them and just doing little interviews here and there with them, even not even recording, just talking to them like at races, what's your setup, stuff like that. And then they just said, Korey, you ought to just do a podcast and just start recording it. You know what I'm saying? You already got your videos and stuff going. Right. But you just start, recording it. And then, like I said, going back to Keenan White and Jason Rona and Gotti and listening to those guys. And they just influenced me into go ahead on and start my thing up. So and this where we are today, so so awesome. That's how I got into the podcast side of it. So how do y'all start in? How y'all get into it?
Well, for me, I've been racing RC back since '78 with my dad, in and out of the hobby, as many people have done, but then got back in the hobby about 3.5, almost 4 years ago, and introduced some guys at my job. We had a big carpeted room upstairs that nobody used. It was empty. Right. I'm like, man, that'd be great for RC cars. And they're like, RC cars, like little toy cars. I said, I'll bring one in. So I brought it in. They're all buzzing around. It wasn't a week later, and they all went to the local hobby town and bought them.
Got some.
Yeah. So we bought the 1 RC cars. I don't know if you've seen those. They're 18th scale oval cars. Okay. Basically a pan car, but 1/18 scale. You get the whole car for, you're fully dressed with everything you need and batteries and the whole 9 yards. You're less than $300. So these guys just ran out and got everything, and we're racing around upstairs in this thing. Well, it'd be lunchtime or it'd be time to go home, and then all of a sudden we're all sitting around. Mostly Ryan and myself. We'd be sitting around talking about the cars and talking RC and this and that. I'd be like, oh my gosh, my wife is going to kill me. We've been sitting here for an hour and a half talking about RC cars. And at one time, just kidding around, I said, we have to expel this energy. Like, we should do a podcast. Right. And I just went out and got the stuff, and I kind of didn't give it. You're going to see a pattern here. I kind of didn't give Ryan a choice. Like, I just showed up and started setting this stuff up in his office after work one night. And I said, come on, just jump on here. Let's just do this. I'll handle all the editing. I'll do all that stuff. All you got to do is be the talent. Just talk. Right. So he's like, all right. Well, then we got into it, and it just took off. It was crazy. It just took off. Yeah. And then now, in this last year and a half, so this is our 3rd season. We're heading up to 100 episodes. Ryan was with me through a year and a half of it. Then he got really busy at work and had to travel more and do things. And so I started doing them myself. And I'm like, nobody wants to listen to this joker for an hour, just talking, talking old RC from 50 years ago. Everybody's falling. I don't want people falling asleep in the car. That was my concern. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I need somebody else that can come on consistently when Ryan can join us. Great. But I need somebody there. And this is where there's that commonality. I kind of didn't give TJ a choice. Yeah. I just said, I need you. I need you,
TJ, you just got drafted in, huh?
Yeah. It was, you got told. It was like, hey, I'm sending you a mic and some stuff. Yeah. And he's like, cool, I already got some stuff. And it's just been great. I mean, we've had so much fun, and it just brings so much to the show. And we've continue to go from there. So I guess maybe this is a good time to ask TJ his side of it, of getting dragged into this craziness.
Yeah, TJ.
So I started racing. Gosh, I really just needed something to do. I promoted in management with my corporation that I work with. And so they put me on a second shift, and I was like, I don't really want to get into video games. And at the time, my friends were all driving RC cars. Well, I was driving Nitro cars. I was just a weekend warrior, just driving bashers. So I'd buy the Revos and the Savages, and I'd fix them up and sell them. And my first car was an HPI RS4 Evo. So basically, and the same thing. Like I put this whole thing together, and I was like, I want to drive Nitro. Well, Nitro's just not big up here. Nobody does it, and so they all started driving cars at these tracks and going around like, you should go see this dirt oval stuff. I said, that's stupid. Yeah. So I went to this track and watched it and fell in love. Fast forward to where I am now. It's like, 7 years later, I'm still having a blast doing it, and met up with Ryan at Chili Bowl and wanted to do this interview with me. And then they were like, hey, let's bring you on a show. So come on the show, and it went well. And then here I am.
The end. That's how I go.
The end. Yeah.
We just dragged him in.
Shoot, that's awesome. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah,
we
man.
trapped him and dragged him in.
Yeah. I'm having a blast. It's a good time.
It is. And like I said, man, just been blessed with different opportunities just from doing this. Man, was blessed to be the Reds Racing regional representative for Alabama.
Nice.
So I'm like the manager of Reds here for the state of Alabama. So like I said, it's been a blessing to me, man. And also maybe some opportunities to make a little bit extra money on the side, which that don't hurt,
Hey, whatever funds the hobby, right?
That's it. All it goes back to for all this equipment, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just been a great journey, man. And again, like I said, it goes back to me just being able to still be able to compete and just feel that competitive side of my, personality with racing and stuff like that. So it's been a great thing, man. Been a great thing for me,
So what really drew me in, Korey, I mean, you're a personality, right? And when to be successful in doing this kind of stuff, you got to have personality. And just, first I saw the shirt, to be honest with you. I saw the logo and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. I want to find out. And then I go, oh, Korey's even cooler. So this is great.
And I hope so. I hope I ain't boring nobody, putting nobody to sleep like you say. Hope not.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
No, well, here, and that's a good segue because TJ doesn't have to work on a Monday, but I work on Mondays, and I found your channel at about 5:00 on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't stop watching until like 1:30 in the morning. I was dragging the next day.
Man,
this old joker was dragging, but you know what? It was worth every second of it. And that's when I was like, oh, I gotta. And that's when I reached out and I just said, hey man, watching your show, this is awesome. I would love to collaborate, love to talk, And the thing that really resonated, which means the most to us, is growing the hobby and the fellowship. And you talked a lot about that. And you talked about, helping out, new racers when they're at the track. And like you said, you were a new racer,
man,
borrowing batteries and you, in some of the episodes I listened to, you went into deep detail about, helping and we need to do this. And, the big racers of the world need to step up and, just the whole message. I'm like, yes, this is it. Cause when it's your passion and you're, myself and TJ, we're talking to, let's say it. We are all talking to the world. That's crazy. Right. I'm sure you see your analytics too, and you go, "What? I'm
all the way over there in Indonesia. You know what I'm saying?
I'm big. I'm top 10 in Indonesia. I'm big in Indonesia. Like, how does that even happen?
Bro.
But then you're like, okay, well, who's ever else talking about this, I hope they're giving the right message. And I'm like, oh man, Korey's not only giving the right message, he's outside the box talking about this stuff. So kudos to you, man. I mean, everything you're doing, we're all proud of our analytics and all that kind of stuff. But I got to say, you're killing it on people following you. I need some help on that. Like, it drives me crazy. Like, we got a lot of viewers. I mean, we've got like 5,000 viewers, but I can't get them to subscribe. You've got the subscription, man. You've worked that secret sauce.
It's a struggle, but like I say, man, just if y'all just me go this, I'm talking to myself, you know what I'm saying? It's just a blessing of God, man. And number one, just be honest. You may see other channels, RC influencers, they gonna do what they do. You know, they may have all the drama, cussing and stuff like that. You know, all that's gonna get the views or whatever. But you stick true to what you know and what that you gonna make it plain for people to understand what you're trying to say. It might not be the most exciting or whatever, but if you stay true to what you know and stay true to you and what you believe in, those the people that you're going to gain, and that's the main ones. That's the ones that's going to stick to it, you know, stick with you. You know what I'm saying? So, just
staying true to you. You know, like
there you go.
We hear the same thing at the track that a lot of tracks I race at. You know, get a lot of compliments about the show, and I'm like, man, whatever you guys want to hear, just tell me. You know, this is your show, but you know, it's what they see on the show is what they get at the track for me. You know, so it's not a different persona. It's like, this is it, you know? So, staying true on screen to off screen and that match and everything, you know, that's huge, you know, because a lot of people are going to say, you know, he's not the same person that I thought he was.
There you go.
Why is he do things different on screen, but out here he's another person?
See, that's what I'm saying. And your followers, they see that. And then
they'll call you out on it.
Right. If they don't see that, you got somebody else, a company that maybe want to work with you, but then they see, okay, he like this at the track, but on the show he wide open, talking crazy, you know, saying some offlandish stuff, you know, it may some stuff you do have to be negative about. If you just telling the truth about like a product or something, if it ain't good, you don't want your followers, or you don't want your RC family to, you know, have some junk. They're gonna be upset. Then they gonna talk even more worse. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you just, you know, acting all out of character, you know, talking crazy, reckless on the mic, and then at the race you talking reckless, and then you portray that you this good guy. You know what I'm saying? In other places, it's gonna come around because your true colors sooner or later is gonna show who you really are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I've seen that in some of these pro drivers that we held so high esteem and put on this pedestal. And if you see them, I know it's high pressure. I know it's their paychecks and stuff like that. But it's a time and a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have emotions. But this is what you do. So you got to know how to handle the pressure. It may be different for me because, like I said, I played ball all the way up to college. So I didn't kind of been in that spotlight with, you know, pressure and cameras being on you, being in front of people doing whatever. But you still got to know how to act and know how to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the people that you acting up to is like a family member. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I've seen it. You just being around and seeing it. And so that's why it's just so important for you to just to have their integrity and just stay focused and locked in on, you know, treating people right. And just being,
I mean, it's when we all
relatable.
Right. Whether we, you know, consciously made these decisions to go out and buy cameras and podcasting equipment and start to do a show, we've taken on a responsibility too. We've taken on a responsibility to the hobby, right? I mean, I'm sure some of these hobby companies hold their breath when they hear, oh boy, there's an RC podcast. Let me click on this, right? I'm sure they hold their breath a little bit, wondering, and some of the things you brought up, like how this person, they have every right, you know, I mean, you have a right to free speech, so they have a right to talk about the hobby. They have a right to talk about my cars that I sell or whatever. And they don't know, like, is that going to go positive? Is that going to go negative? Where is it going to go? And I agree with you. There's lots of RC podcasts. I try to listen to as many as I can. There's sometimes you cringe, go, okay. I mean, I hope a little kid doesn't go, I love RC cars, and fall on this particular podcast, right? Or, you know, that the guys are kind of using some off language, or, you know, just going crazy or whatever. But but we have a responsibility to not candy coat it and frost it and make it all, you know, unicorns and rainbows. But we owe it to the hobby to say, hey, come check this out. Like, we have a great story to tell. Let's tell it. And it's It is fellowship. It is a family deal. It is, but still taking time for other things. We talk about that a lot on our show. I'm sure you do too. I mean, you were out with your mom in Chicago and you had that, up. That was awesome. TJ is very involved with his daughter with baseball. And if he calls and says, hey, out of town for a tournament,
go.
Shows on the side, or I'll figure it out, or I'll do a best of or something. That takes family first. There's no doubt about it.
That's it.
And that needs, that's another thing that we were, drawn to you, Korey, is that, you have that family first, friends first. But hey, maybe my friends and family we can all go play race cars too, right?
There you go. Yeah. Involve them. You know what I'm saying? And then you would like, your family be involved into the things that you like. But if they not, so what? Still, still support them. Like TJ say, his daughter doing softball. You know what I'm saying? So he got to do the softball thing. That's what she like. You know what I'm saying? She might come around and want to drive the cars in off season or whatever, or when she get done completely, when she get older, she might jump in the RC just because right now, just like me, she's a competitor. And that spirit don't die just because you stop playing whatever. You know what I'm saying? You still had that drive. That's just a part of us.
Well, that's the other thing I'm trying to teach her, is that unconditional support, no matter what.
Right.
She's a 4-sport athlete. She does great in school. She's a good kid. I'm lucky to be her dad, but I'm just trying to teach her that what good quality support looks like, whether that be from her mother who supports her too, and great parenting together, so just trying to show her that unconditional and unwavering support can come from all different angles, but what that looks like and what a healthy relationship looks like is what I'm really trying to teach her at any level, whether it be her sports to my passion for racing or when I coached, my passion for coaching. But at the end of the day, we got to teach the youth, how to be better and what they can expect and how do they get to that level, whether that be how to properly love someone, how to care for somebody, how to show them unconditional support. We may not do the best at times, and we just got to reel ourselves back in and show them, a better pathway, because they are the absolute future. So they're the next leaders of the world. They're the ones that are going to take over. If I'm not leading the world right now, somebody's going to have to, and I'll be darned if I don't let my daughter kind of see what good leadership looks like.
That's right, TJ. Yeah, and that go back to what we was talking about, as far as like how we keeping it 100% real, 100% authentic, genuine, what we talking about on our podcast. And that also teaches us, just doing podcasts and doing RC, not to take it to the extreme, because it is a sport and it's just a hobby too. So it just keeps us in check, knowing that we got a whole family over here that way more important in these cars and planes and dirt oval and everything else. You know what I'm saying? So it keeps you grounded on both sides of it. And but just going back as far as like the negatives and positives in it, just like the company I race for, Miyako, y'all know the boss man, JQ. They, how can I say it? How off the cuff he can get, far as like his attitude about, talking with people and just how he handle people sometimes is crazy. But then again, the same JQ that's crazy and talk crazy right now has a mentoring program from Miyako that's helping youth get going in the hobby, all the way up until, if they want to stick with it, to be that pro racer, even with kits, parts, and everything. This the same man now, but so you just have to let people be them, but you got to stick to what you know, that you know what's right for you and your family and what you represent. You know what I'm saying? But the same guy that talk crazy like that, he cares that much about the hobby, regardless of what y'all hear or what's been talked about him. He's helping youth be the best they can be in RC. Not just youth, but old people like us. Mentor them. he got a youth and mentor program in his brand, the Miyako brand. They're just like the guys y'all had on y'all last show that had the youth and mentor. What they from Australia?
Rising Star from Canada.
Canada, yeah. So yeah, he has that. The same guy that talk crazy and cuss and act the fool. He know what's really important. You know what I'm saying? So that just show you what you can be this way, but what your heart is about. You know what I'm saying? So they tell you what kind of heart he got for real. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta get to know him. You know what I'm saying? So
preach.
Yeah. And like I said, it just go back into black and white. You black, I'm white. Whatever. So what? It's about if you're a bad person, you're a bad person. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a good person, you're just a good person. It's about the person, about the personality, your heart, the character of your you that you have. So, but yeah, man. So yeah, man. It just that's why RC is good. It just relate and it goes back to life. And like I say, athlete, being an old athlete, you still have to use the same skills in RC as far as focus. Got to focus. Got to focus on the track. You got to focus and learn your plays. You got to focus and learn how you hit these corners and how to, go back to practicing. You got to practice. You want to be good at something, regardless of what it is, RC or out of RC. You got to practice at it to be good at it. So, and you still got to be able to. You may be upset, but you still got to be able to control your emotions and treat people with respect. They might make you mad. You might want to cuss them out on the stand. They might have hit you legitly. You know what I'm saying? Legit. And you might get upset and blow up on the stand, but you got to remember, okay, it's just a race. I ain't winning $1 million doing it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have to check yourself, so, but yeah, man.
I will tell you this though, over the summer, we did a big race. And we did see some of the cleanest racing there was, and it was for a lot of money. And I was really impressed because with a lot of money on the line, 9 times out of 10, you see absolute trash driving because everybody wants that money.
Want that money, yeah.
About that money. But at the end of the day, we saw some really good driving, and it was impressive because majority of those drivers, a lot of those drivers were from the Midwest, so we took pride in that. We took pride in the fact that, that was a culture that we had built, a culture that I was lucky enough to be a part of. But just that reputation of Midwest driving, is here. It was nice to see that, especially at a money race.
Awesome.
Well, we talked to TJ about being able to focus and think quick.
Right.
What do you think?
Quick time.
All right.
Okay.
Here's how this works, Korey.
Oh,
it's quick time. He's gonna hit you with some questions. Let's see if you can set the track record. I think it's 1.26. But I'll validate that. So he's gonna, as soon as you answer the first question, the clock is running.
Okay.
And he's gonna hit you with about 20 questions. I think it is. So anytime you're ready, TJ. Anytime you're ready, Korey.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's see what it is. Let's do this.
All right, I'll count you down. I'll go 3, 2, 1, and we'll go. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Favorite RC tool.
My hex driver.
Favorite trackside snack.
Oatmeal cookies.
Favorite local track.
Home track. RC3.
Favorite out of town track.
AMS. It's arena, so it's like so it's like
RC ick.
RC ick. What's ick? What I don't
something
like.
You don't like something.
Something you don't like. Oh my gosh! Someone drives in the opposite.
Sandbag.
Okay.
Nice.
White wheels or yellow wheels?
White wheels.
E-buggy or e-truggy?
E-buggy.
1/10 scale or 8 scale?
8 scale.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
High bite or loose dirt?
Loose dirt.
Blondes or brunettes?
Both.
Pepsi or Coke? Blondes,
brunette. I like brunettes.
Okay.
Brunettes.
He's trying to think of his girlfriend real quick. Like, brunettes.
Brunettes.
You say blonde, you might be in trouble.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Clean car or wait till it breaks?
Clean.
440 or metric?
Metric.
Trackside food or DoorDash?
DoorDash.
Ball diff or gear diff?
Gear.
Steak or chicken?
Chicken.
Tire prep or dry tire?
Dry tire.
Ding, 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 ding,
Ding,
ding,
ding, ding. A minute
Okay.
57. Minute 57. Not bad.
That's all right.
Not
We're going
bad.
to get better. We're going to get better.
You didn't know it was coming, so that was really good. That was really good.
Kept you on your toes.
Yeah, man. My grandmama loves Pepsi, though. So, but I like Coke. I had to get grab a Coke.
It's a Southern thing. You go down south, I say, hey, I'm going to get a pop. And you're like, a pop? You're going to get a pop? I mean, it's a Wisconsin thing, really, but
Soda.
everything's Coke down there.
Yeah, grandmama, she loves. I don't know how she got into loving Pepsis over Coke, but she liked Pepsi. The Pepsi to this day. She's what, 95. My mom she has dementia right now, but my mom takes care of her. My mom's like 74. And she was a nurse, so she's taking care of grandmama. But she's up
in, and I'm assuming she's up in Chicago then.
No, my mom is still in Gaston, Alabama. I'm down in Montgomery. Yeah. Like I said, I came to Montgomery when I went to college. So I just stayed here, but it's like 2 hours and a half away from me. So my brother is way out in California, and my cousin, she's basically doing traveling nursing. So she be all over the place. Mm-hmm. So, I had to be the one that's kind of close, but still, when they get on your nerves, you still got 2.5 hours to get away and get gone. But if something happen, ain't too far to go and shoot up there and be there with them. You know what I'm saying? So, So
you can see that on your page, man. You're a family guy, and so much. Many blessings to your grandma and your mom. Can tell they mean the world to you. Man. Not gonna lie, I was a little jealous of the Chicago style pizza.
That pizza
that you and mom went out for.
So good, kidding. Man. Big.
So do you do the deep dish or do you do the thin crust? What do you do?
Oh, I like the deep dish better, but I like the regular crust too. Like just ordering it like from like Papa John's or whatever, Pizza Hut. Then medium, the regular crust is good. But I like that deep dish though, because a deep dish crust can be crispy and that buttery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And thin crust, it's good though, but it's just
you gotta add
flaky.
that. You gotta add that to QuickTime, TJ.
Yeah.
Deep
TJ,
dish or thin crust,
TJ. Come on, man.
It's going in. You talk.
Add that to the list. Add that to the list.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah,
but yeah,
good one.
So what y'all think about Okay, so y'all watched the World's race, the World's off-road Worlds?
I did watch some of
y'all
that.
caught some of that.
Yeah.
So why do y'all think that the U.S. guys didn't do so well? What's the reasons? Let me see, but let me say this: is it because of the Europeans are just used to that style of track, or do the U.S. guys need to go over there and race more? Because the European guys come here and race all the time. They've won DNC. That's a big race here in the U.S.
Yep.
They've won Silver State. That's another big race in Las Vegas out that way.
Yep.
They just won AMS, which is over here. The pro buggy, the pros. They just won that. Carlos, what's his name? Juan Carlos Canas won the A main at AMS this year. Or is it just it's too expensive for the U.S. guys to get there and do their homework? What y'all think?
Well, the one thing I would say is the worlds are always outdoor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're limited somewhat to the amount of track time in a full year.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys come from the Midwest, you got guys, maybe California, you're good. Where in Europe, sure, they kind of get seasons, but where most of these guys are coming from, I think they get a lot more track time during the season. And my wife and I are real into bike racing, like Tour de France and all that kind of stuff. And it's the same thing there. Like, Europeans just really, really get deep into their things, the perfection and the time, and there's just something there. What do you think, TJ?
Their attention to detail. I think the United Kingdom and Europeans, they all have a great sense of, I guess, nourished history. So they have a way of keeping things simple and effective, where we as an Americans like to overcomplicate things, I guess.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
So if you kind of look at like the simpleton life that they have, they're small houses, they're very compact in what they do. Everything in America is larger than life, or our Big Mac is different from their Big Mac. Their Big Mac looks like it came from a gourmet restaurant, and ours looks like processed crap. I think that's just the generalized American theme for us, is we're just over processed. So everything we do might be in the same sense. I mean, you take food, for instance, and you apply it to racing. A lot of things we do is over processed, where you got some guys coming over from Europe that are very simple. Not saying their programs aren't complex by any means. They're simpletons, they're coming over and they're dominating, but to elaborate off the track time, you got someone like Dakota Finn, who's from a couple hours north of me. Yeah. If he wants to go race outdoors, he can a little bit here in the summer months we do have, but to be, 9 months out of the year, probably not going to happen. He's got to go down south, he's got to go where it's warmer, and, it's not always the cheapest and easiest route. But I think the biggest contributing factor is we have a lot outdoor and a lot indoor, and we can do both, for them to come over, analyze the program. It would take an analyst to go through and look and say, why are they able to come over here and dominate us?
And that'd be a question I'd have, Korey, since you're close to it. Are there any Europeans who have come here and then have helped the United States team?
As far as coming over here and helping the team,
like moved here and then like became a U.S. racer, even though they raced, European for many years.
I don't think really came and stayed, like, kind of like got citizenship. But I know that like David Runnerfault, he's come here and stayed 2-3 months, 4 or 5 months, just to get ready for like Dirt Nitro Challenge. On top of his regular race program, a race schedule, and it just seemed to me a lot of the U.S. guys don't take time out to do that. It's always an excuse about we ain't got the money or this or this, or we can't go. We too busy. And those guys over there, they have a race schedule too. Even some, the new excuse that a lot of guys are using now is a lot of those guys just run. Most of them do. I'm not going to lie. Most of them do just run strictly just A scale and not 8th and 10th scale. And so they saying that most of them are just more focused on A scale. And that's why all the latest wins have just came in mostly the A scale class. You know what I'm saying? So far as like Europeans and Americans racing together, but the European that won the 4-wheel drive 10 scale was the one that won the worlds this year, Derek Ungaro. He won the 10 scale off-road world championships, year before last, something like that. But I just feel like if you want to get good at something, just like going back to anything else, you want to get good at something, you got to go and put some time in and go race over there with them, because they come over here and race.
How often do you practice? Do you just go and practice?
I just go and practice. I really should be more racing more and practice. I try to do practice maybe 2 times a week. I mean, that's decent. Just working, being able to work a job and still get off and whatever, and then be able to practice a little bit twice a week or something like that. But it's just about being consistent at it. If it's just 2 days a week, just be consistent at doing 2 days a week. You know,
what's the saying? I think it takes like, is it 21 days to create a habit? I think I read a book of, extreme leadership, and I think it created something like 21 days to create a habit. I bet if you go ask, and I challenge each of you, go ask a racer at your track, when's the last time you practiced? I'm not talking day of the race. We're thrashing now to figure out how the track's changed. But you just solely set up a day that you just went somewhere. You didn't care about a trophy. You didn't care about anything. You literally just went there and said, didn't work, trying something else. Didn't work, trying something else. Found it, now let's make it better. I bet you if you ask 10 people, you can't get a single one of those 10 to commit and say that they did. And that is probably what's going to be the driving factor to say 1% every day for a year is 365%. Get better 1% every day. Over 1 year, you're 365% better by just an average, and we're not doing that. We're paying $20-$30 a class to go and show up to race.
And I would back that up even farther and ask them the same question of, how much time did you spend on the workbench this week prepping the car, right? There's so many guys that show up to racetracks and they're kind of almost kidding, like, oh, there's a wire off.
About to catch the Holy Ghost over there.
Listen, it's Sunday. You're preaching the gospel to me.
Amen.
It's like, look, there's a wire off on my battery. That shouldn't be. My diff. Something's wrong with my diff. It's one thing if it happens after you're there and racing, but it's when they first pull everything out and go, I don't even have my charger with me.
Right.
It's like, really? Come on, like just put a little effort into it.
I'm a firm believer of working on your cars, learning your products, learning the ins and outs, learning what comes loose, getting a feel. I mean, it's going to sound bad, but touch all over that car and figure out what it is. I've told time and time again, guys at the track, and guy goes out there for hot laps and he burns his diff up and he keeps running it wide open. And I was honest and I was like, buddy, I'm not going to say his name. I'm like, buddy, man, your maintenance program is god awful. When I said, I don't want to be rude, I want you to be better. Because you're a nice dude, man. You're out here racing every weekend. You're having a great time.
Right.
No longer married, so you get to do this for you. And he's like, I've heard that time or two. I'm like, you should fix that. Like,
that's the confirmation, ain't it?
You just reiterated what I just said. I want you, because there's times, man, he can go out there and have a heck of a car and a good race. And, his maintenance program's what's taking it from him. I'm like, man, you just drove 3.5 hours to have a crap car guaranteed from the start. And you're okay with that. And that's just the part of me that cares. A lot of guys get, they ask, how do you win races or how do you finish and how do you maintenance, man? Get inside that car, tear it apart, learn what's bad, check your bolts, check your nuts, everything. If you're not going through your car and you're not putting that time in, you're not getting better. So you can't just go from a race to race and expect to win when you're not practicing or you're not getting better or learning how to hone your craft or to properly build a ball diff or soldering, all the things that we have to do. If you're not learning to get better at it, you can't expect your program to grow.
Because another saying, what they always say that the definition of insanity, keep doing the same thing and hope for a different result.
Yes,
it's not going to happen. Yeah, but hey, and the thing is, I'm the poster child of that. Like when I was young and racing, my dad helped all of us, and I didn't learn. I just that'll do it. I just got to charge batteries. Oh, hey, Dad, there's a battery. There's a wire off on this battery. And he'd solder it up. Yeah. Well, I got out of the hobby. Then I came back, and honestly, Ryan called me out. He's like, dude, you got to do better. Like, you got to have your stuff ready. You got to know, don't wait for it to break.
Right.
You got to take it all apart and know how it works, man.
Well, that'll be one of the,
he took me to the woodshed on that. He took me to the woodshed on it. And I've gotten better and And actually this year before the season started, I said, hey, all right, come on. If I'm going to run a podcast, I'm going to talk about this kind of stuff, and I'm going to make a statement like I made just a little bit ago. I got to be better, right? And then being around TJ, TJ's been a great, inspiration on that because he's on his stuff,
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to be better. So this year I really have, and there it is. There's the result. Yesterday we ran a road course race. I lost by 2.2 seconds.
Car was better than the driver.
Hey.
Yeah, it was, it was car was definitely better than driver. That's always, that's a gimme.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
the car was so good and others didn't do that I was right in the mix. I mean, it's George Murray, man. The guy's just a road car specialist. He was tough to get. I was just proud to be on the same lap with him, let alone,
Well, that'll be something that's on my checklist of we're going to do a chili bowl, kind of like a pre-recipe chili bowl kind of deal, for people to prep for chili bowl and kind of give them an idea of, how to plan for a bigger race like that. Cause there's a lot of new guys that, listen to the podcast that have never gone to, a big national race at that caliber and don't know what to expect. And so just some do's and don'ts, all the way down to health, how to eat, what to eat and drink, what vitamins to take, etc. So, but maintenance on your program, you're not doing it, you're never going to win. You expect to keep wasting money and be disappointed leaving the track. Ultimately, I want everyone to have a great experience, and I hate to see somebody, blow a diff out and time again and never know how to fix it or continue to use the same products that aren't giving them quality results, so it'll be something we talk about here soon in the next couple weeks.
For sure. So speaking of next couple weeks, Korey, what's coming up on your show? Let's talk a little bit more about the RC Lounge podcast. What do you got coming? Any guests?
Any guests? I was trying to I want to do something with Jonah Wilson. Jonah Wilson. He's from Tennessee. Jonah. Real good racer, upcoming. Really he's on that door knocking of being real competitive in the pro class. See, a lot of my podcasts, I do the famous pros. I try to do the famous pros too, but I also do like the grassroots racer, local racer. But yeah, Jonah Wilson, he's a pro. He's on a pro class. So he's the next one. Races for Associated.
Yeah, it looks like he just 6 days ago finished up a fun weekend racing at the Fall Brawl.
Yeah, he just won Fall Brawl. Yeah, he's from Tennessee.
GT1 class and Pro E buggy and Pro Nitro buggy.
That's it. That's him. So yeah, he that's what I'm trying to get next to sit down with me and talk. I talked to him at AMS. Him and also y'all might have heard of Lee Setzer.
Lee, I've heard the name.
Yeah. Lee does 10 scale and 8 scale. So,
all right, I got one here for you. Put it up there. So, Miss Bella.
Have
you talked to Miss Bella?
Yeah.
Miss Bella, RC racer.
Okay.
That girl.
Yeah.
You know her, right?
Yeah. She came a long way. Super fast. She's been fast and consistent ever since she really started racing more frequently here, just from the sportsman class all the way up to she's like top of the intermediate class right now.
Yeah.
She's good, and it's a couple of young ladies, man, that's really cutting up. I did a podcast with Kiera Hold. She's from Florida, and her and I think Bella is a little bit younger than her, but they really start hitting the scene at the same time. But yeah, the girls are cutting up, man.
Yeah.
Super fast.
And Aiden Ridgway.
Aiden,
you want to have
Aiden's from, I think he's from down here in Georgia, I think, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, he'll be a good one too. Yeah. So I'm putting it together. I said I was going to do something with, I talked to Ryan Lutz also.
Yeah, I think teammate.
Yeah. I think I talked to Lutz and Fee Long Wind, Lil Bump.
Yeah.
I talked to them too. So so hopefully, yeah. So they in the lineup, my top, those are like my top 5, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's coming up for me as far as the RC Lounge podcast. And I also do like a little segment, not just cause the RC Lounge podcast is just more of me, podcasting with, my fellow racers, like with y'all right now. So I also do something called like the Pit Stop Hour. That's just like, well, I just be with my RC family. We just talk whatever questions they may have to me, or just talk in general to other, just other RC family, my other followers and stuff like that. They're just where we all can just get together and just talk.
Sure.
Without being.
And that's live. Do you do that live stream?
Mm-hmm. I do both of them live stream. I just changed the name. It's all the same thing. It's kind of like how Shannon Sharp do like his Club Shay Shay, and then he has the Nightcap with Ocho. You know what I'm saying? So it's all pretty much under the same umbrella, but it's more interactive doing a pit stop hour with my followers and stuff. So, but
that's awesome. Is there special times and dates during the week that your stuff comes out, so we can let the fans know?
I've been mostly really heavy doing stuff like on Sundays, because it just seemed like everybody be back from a race, or either they're getting ready to go and they, getting stuff together. I think Sundays would be a good day to catch people to do a podcast. So I do Sundays around about this time, like we just did tonight.
Okay.
That way we can talk for a while, and if we get done, if we go for 2 hours on the podcast, it don't be no more than like 8:00. People still have time to get something to eat and get their stuff together for work and stuff like that. So I try to do, most of the time I try to do Saturdays, but sometimes I just get bored and I just jump on. You know what I'm saying? I might put it out 30 minutes before I jump on and just talk to my.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Talk to my family. So yeah,
we're still struggling with the live stream stuff. We've tried a few times. I don't know. I'm struggling. I might need to talk to you on the side about that. I got it to work one time, and then we can. It says we're live. Yeah, but it doesn't show up on Facebook. Show on video. So I don't know what I'm doing. It's, I'm sure it's user error. I'm sure it's 100%
you just look
user
through all
error.
That fine print, man. Like I said, the YouTube thing and the podcast thing. A lot of it is trial and error, stumbling through, just trying stuff. You might go live. You just put on there. You testing some stuff out, and you just have to see how it go. If it work, it work. And then sometimes if you go live, sometimes your stuff may crash, but don't get upset. Don't get panicked. Just let it reset and pick back up. Because 9 times out of 10, when stuff do crash like that, it either be like my end or either by whoever I'm doing the podcast with, they still be up running, or mine might go down or theirs might go down, and we just talk until the next person jump back in or whatever.
Jumps back in. It all works out.
And it works out. And you can also go back and like edit that out once you start, doing your downloads and editing and stuff like that. But
so what we're going to do here, Korey, is we're because I do edit. So we're going to close out the show, but I'm going to see. So TJ, do you have got any last questions for Korey?
If you have any advice for one young racer in 20 seconds that can make an impact on them, what would it be?
Just stay consistent. If this is what you want to do it. Ask questions, regardless of how dumb it may be, regardless of who. Even if you had a big race with a pro racer, ask them how they do this. Ask them how to do that. Ask questions. Stay consistent with this. If you like to do it. Ask questions. And like we talked about, do your maintenance on your stuff. Do your maintenance. So that's what I would say. And just stick to it. That's it. Cause I've learned you might not be the best or whatever, but if you just stay consistent and do it, you'll find yourself being in positions for you to win, and you'll be in the mix just when you just be in consistency. So just like racing, consistency. So yeah, that's the things I would tell them. Be consistent, do your maintenance, and ask all the questions you can. So
Korey, thanks so much for joining us tonight, buddy.
Yeah, man. I appreciate this opportunity, y'all. TJ and Dave, I appreciate you, bro. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Absolute blast, man. Love getting to hear your story. Love hearing you grow in the sport. Appreciate what you do for the hobby. Appreciate you being a podcast family, so appreciate all that. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep putting the word out there. Keep getting these kids to wrench in their cars, because that's the only way we keep them on the track.
That's it.
That's for sure. Everybody out there watching the show, we're humbled that you come here every week. We want to thank our sponsors, Carpies, Papa Willie's. Without you, we couldn't spread the love that we do. We don't take any money for this stuff. Any proceeds, or I should say any money we actually get that come into this show, all turns around, gets put back in the hobby, whether we're helping young kids with stuff, putting packages together, helping racetracks, all that. So we just appreciate the people that tune in, the people that support it, our great guests, like, Korey's a perfect example. And of course you, TJ. Thanks so much, TJ, for doing this with me every week.
Yeah.
So on behalf of RC Underground Radio, we want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. We're going to have our Christmas edition next week, and we got a special guest. So make sure you tune in. Good night, everybody.
Awesome. Good night.
Papa Willie's Traction Tonic has been curing poor traction since 2016. The name says it all. If you're not popping wheelies, it's not Papa Willie's. Papa Willie's has become known across the United States on dirt oval to off-road, asphalt to concrete, carpet to hardwood, and so many other surfaces. Papa Willie's continues adding to their lineup with tonics for cold and hot weather, loose dirt to high traction, dry dirt, wet dirt, clay and abrasive surfaces, along with anti-drag bearing oil, tire cleaner, tire glue, pit accessories, and swag. You can find the complete Papa Willie's catalog at www.papawillies.net. Prepare for victory with Papa Willie's Traction Tonic.
Be sure to use promo code RCUR for 10% off your next purchase at Papa Willie's.
Folks, are you looking to gain a 10th on the racetrack, or maybe get a few ladies like Taylor Swift in your pit stall? Well, I'm sorry to say that Carpies can't work miracles in those departments. But here's the good news. The folks at Carpies can definitely help you become the ultimate toy car nerd, just like me. How, you ask? Well, with their custom wraps and killer collection of official RC branded merch. So while they can't promise to shave a 10th off your lap time, they can save you 10% on your next order with promo code RCU10 upon checkout at carpies.com, CARPYS.com. Wrapping winners since 2013.
Thank you for listening to the RC Underground Radio Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your fellow racers about the show. Tune in again next week for more RC content.